Jolissa Fuentes, 22, was last seen on August 7th around 4 a.m. at a local gas station in Selma, California. Since then, her family has been searching desperately for her. Jolissa drives a silver four-door 2011 Hyundai Accent with California license plate 8MPU766. A $10,000 reward is being offered for information about Jolissa's whereabouts. As always, if you see something, say something. Hey, everybody, and welcome to the True Crime Squad. This is Katie Weaver. I'm here with my sister, co host, and partner in crime, Kristi Brower. Hello.
Hello. Hey, everybody.
How's it going?
It is going well. I got a really cool present today from you.
I know. I'm glad you found these and wanted one so that I got one too. They're pretty cool.
Yeah. Have you guys heard of a gem drop? Is it drop? Right? That's right. Isn't it?
I don't know now that you say
Anyway,
that.
it's a bracelet that looks like this. And it's this like virtual reality interaction thing where you use your phone. And when you use your phone, sitting right here on my gem drop, there might be a dragon or a unicorn or a tarantula, which Rhonda made me turn that one off in about half a second because that was horrifying.
Oh, I
But I
loved
guess
it.
some people like tarantulas.
I thought it was very cool. Yeah.
Ooh. And some beautiful butterflies and a hummingbird, and you can interact with them and make them do different things, and then you play games and stuff with them. They're so cool. So yeah, so thank you.
You're very
I've had
welcome.
fun with that today.
I thought you would enjoy it. I have too. It's a lot of fun. The cool thing
Mm-hmm.
is that it's an app, and the developers just keep updating the app with more cool stuff, so
Mm-hmm.
that there's always something to do. So
Yeah.
it's fun. Another day we'll share a video. Maybe how's this? We'll share a few videos of what they do on case updates this week
Yes, let's do.
on Wednesday night. So this is Tuesday. So welcome to the Tuesday squad meeting. It's the only
Yes.
meeting where you can do whatever the hell you want and listen in your underwear. It's totally up to you.
Right. We don't even know. We don't even care.
Ah,
Mm-mm.
no, but
We might be in our underwear. Maybe this is a filter. You don't know.
I spoiler alert, it's not. That's
Oh, well,
no.
okay. I mean, if you got to spoiler alert it.
I guess I do. Yeah, you found my line. It was right there.
Gotcha. Okay.
Well, our case today is really important, and I wanted to get it done now because it is time sensitive. Uh, and of course, that is Jolissa Fuentes. But before we get there, I am going to kick the mic over to you, Kristi, to kick us off with some WTF news.
Oh, yeah. I've got some. You know what is not a good way to end an argument with your father in law?
Hmm.
Any thoughts?
A good way to end an argument with your father-in-law?
Yeah.
I'm going to say probably not by committing a homicide.
Yes. It would be by
See,
not
I could be
headbutting
on
him
Family
in the
Feud.
face 3
Oh.
times and killing him.
Oh, good
This
lord.
is the craziest thing.
That's a hard no. Yeah.
This just happened like on the 12th of August. So, this man, John Birdwell, he met up with his father-in-law. So John Birdwell is a veterinarian, and his father-in-law, Dr. Robert Bearden, was a doctor. And John and his wife, who was Dr. Bearden's daughter, are in the process of ending their marriage. And so apparently, what happened is that they met up in a bar to talk because Bird, these guys' names are too close. Birdwell was kind of dragging his feet on signing the divorce papers, and Bearden was kind of trying to get him, to stop stalling and get this over with, right?
Wait, so her married name was Bearden Birdwell?
Yes, yes,
Wow,
it was Bearden Birdwell.
that would get confusing. That's all. Go ahead.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, it would. So, father-in-law is trying to get him to just stop stalling. Let's get it over with.
Mhm.
Your relationship is done. Let's just do it, right? People that were watching this happen said that Bearden was not aggressive or anything during this conversation.
Mhm.
But at one point, Beardwell, the son-in-law, grabbed this man who is in his 80s, by the way, and
Oh.
headbutted him 3 times.
Oh no.
So he fell to the ground and was bleeding from the head, and he died the next day in a hospital.
Oh, that's terrible.
It is terrible. And now, so Birdwell took off, managed to get away before people tried to hold him there, but the police came, but he got away,
Mhm.
and they did arrest him on August 18th. And he is being held on a $75,000 bond. This is in Texas, by the way. And, he will
Oh
be
no.
charged with his father in law's murder.
That is so sad for her.
Right?
Right? Because she sent her dad, or he probably volunteered or insisted on going
Mm-hmm.
I can talk to him, I can talk some sense into him, and I'm guessing he's been able to talk some sense into him in the past and that this seemed like
Right.
a good fit. But I'm so sad for her that she has to live with the fact that this happened.
Right.
It wasn't
It's
her
just
fault, to be very clear.
no, but
But my God, that's terrible.
so shocking. And it just sort of happened. Like the people around them
Mhm.
said that it wasn't like there was no aggression
Uh-huh.
beforehand, and this guy just lost it, I guess.
Mhm.
Really sad. So sorry. So sorry for, and just, lots of love out to the
Yeah.
Bearden family and the Birdwell family. Um,
Yeah,
because that's just really sad.
it is. Wow.
So that is definitely some WTF news.
Indeed.
Yeah. So, with that being said, I'm going to kick the mic back over to you for our missing person spotlight.
Yeah. So we're talking today about Jolissa Fuentes. Jolissa, of course, went missing from Selma, California. She went missing just about the same time that Kylie Rodney did.
Oh,
And
yeah.
if you guys, watched last week, you know that we covered Kylie and that Adventures with Purpose found Kylie's body
Yes.
in her car.
In a body of
Uh,
water.
to be fair, I think that her body hasn't been officially ID'd yet, but that's
But it's
just,
believed that
but it's
it
believed
is
to
her.
be. Yeah. Yeah, in her car, upside down in about 14 feet of water, I understand.
Yeah.
So, uh, you also know that during this period of time, there's been a lot of attention about missing Kylie. There's been a
Yes.
lot of conversation, people coming out of the woodwork to help. I mean, my God, they talked Adventures for Purpose into coming to search for her, and that's the first time they have ever done a current missing persons case. In fact,
Right.
they've had a policy against it in the past.
Mm-hmm.
But this darling blonde 16-year-old girl goes missing and everybody's up in arms, and they should be. And they
Helicopters
should be.
searching, like all kinds,
Yeah.
tons of people, tons of police.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But some 4-ish hours away, within a few hours of her going missing, so did Jolissa Fuentes. And this may very well be the first you have heard of this case. I hope that's not true. I hope
Yeah.
that's not true. But that seems to have been the case. Her poor family and friends have desperately been trying to get help, to get the word out, to get something figured out. And it's finally slowly coming, but it's been 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Mm.
The police did a press conference today Today,
This
first
is their
one.
first press conference on this? Oh my god.
They have posted about
Somebody
this
needs
as
to
of
laugh.
yesterday when I was researching this case. The Fresno Sheriff's Office had posted about it one time on their Facebook page,
What?
and the Selma police had also posted about it one time.
This is a missing human. This should take priority over a lot of things.
Yep.
My God, why do we? Oh, I know why. I
I
hate
know.
why. Makes me furious.
I know. We all know why. All the whys. It is extremely frustrating.
Yeah, it is.
Um, so that's kind of where the case is. I'll give you guys some details, of course, but I just want you to bear that in mind that this is one of those. I hate to say it. This is kind of becoming a historical term now, but a Gabby Petito moment.
Right.
Where we see some cases. Now, to be fair, Kylie is a child, and that always gets people, gets more of their attention. But just by and large, her case got a lot more attention, and it is what it is. Gonna, I'm not gonna go any further, except for that it's with law enforcement that this has been extremely frustrating. Do you guys remember with Kylie's case? I showed you infographics that the sheriff's office was releasing daily with
Yes.
how many people were on the case, how many man hours had been put into it, all the different resources that were being used, all the different agencies that they were networking with, like
Yeah.
every day. Here's everything we're doing, front and center, daily press conferences.
Yeah.
Well, wow.
Not
Unfortunately, we
seeing that
haven't seen
here.
this in Selma, not by a far stretch. So, with all of that aside, let's talk a little bit about the case itself. So, Jolissa, of course, is 22.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get a missing poster pulled up here. Okay. So, on August 7th at 4:06 a.m., she was caught on surveillance at a gas station called the AMPM on Nebraska Avenue in Selma. She was in her gray 2011 Hyundai Accent. The license plate number is California 8MPU 766. The vehicle is also missing. Everything is missing. Her
Mm-hmm.
phone, her car, the whole deal.
Okay.
So these are things that we do know. There is a reward for information. I want to say that it's $5,000. That may have come up by now, but
I
that's what I
think
was
you said
aware of.
10,000 in the intro.
Did I? Okay, so yes, 10,000. I don't want to misquote that, but I'm not positive. But if that's what I said, then yes. We were going to record this yesterday and ran out of time,
Mm-hmm.
uh, so here we are. But a few things, a timeline that her sister had put out, and I think this is important to note. So she had been at a party, at a family friend's party. So don't be thinking not a party like a rager. She was at like a family birthday party kind of party, hanging
Mm-hmm.
out with some friends. She left there around 3:30 in the morning and came home. She lived with her grandma. Came home and her brother wasn't home and she had wanted to hang out with him. So she called him, told him she was going to go get some food and hang out. So that's what she did. So then, of course, we know at 4 she left grandma's house, and then we see her on camera, and I'll share that with you, getting to the AM/PM around 4:06. At 5:24 and again at 5:25, she called her sister on Facebook Messenger. But it was 5 a.m. She didn't answer because she was asleep.
Sure.
And that's it. That's all they have known. Uh, a couple of things that to note. When she pulled out of the AM/PM, she turned the wrong direction to go home,
Mm.
which, of course, indicates she wasn't going home. Her family's really puzzled about why she was out, what she was doing. It turns out that she had a friend that was murdered last year,
No.
and she struggled with that somewhat. Not that she was, in a bad mental state, but she had struggled with that, obviously. And she
Mm-hmm.
did occasionally kind of drive up into the mountains to just get some fresh air and think. And so that
Sure.
was kind of their thought. Maybe she did that, but they just don't know. And so I will share with you This is a video from the AM/PM. So here we see her purchasing her stuff. We see that man in the orange shirt walk out,
Mm-hmm.
and then she walks out, and this is slowed way down so that you can kind of see her heading out. She does turn and kind of look at him for a minute, and then she climbs into her car,
Okay.
and then she leaves. She pulls out and heads down the road. And as far as anyone's aware, she was alone in her car, and that is the last she has been seen. So, for the last 2 weeks, her family has been desperately trying to find her,
Mm-hmm.
of course. And, they're hanging up flyers and they are talking to everybody they can think of. And I want to give the community of Selma and their friends and family some big props because they have been stellar. The
Mm-hmm.
support from the community, it can always be better, but just from our experience of watching a lot of these cases roll out, they've had a lot of help.
Good.
People are hanging up flyers right and left. There have been many search parties go out looking around the area. There has been a lot of people talking. I noticed today that there's a woman that's giving away T-shirts that she's sublimating with the whole missing flyer on the front of it.
Oh, cool.
Isn't that sweet?
Yes, it is.
There there was a protest today because they feel like they're not getting the police response that they need. And Adventures with Purpose is coming to the rescue.
Yes. Okay.
So,
That's good.
so they had promised that once they wrapped up with Kylie, they would head that way, and they are doing so. So
Good.
they said they will be there in 2 days. And there's a certain area that they are going to be focusing on. So there was a press conference today, finally, where a tiny bit of new information came out. A lot of the press conference was the chief acting like he was pretty unfamiliar with this case and was getting a lot of his cues from another officer, which
Ugh.
was concerning to say the very least. A lot of it
Right?
was pretty defensive, like, yes, we have too been working on this, but
Well, they've had 2 weeks. Where's the rest of the video? Like, if that gas
mhm,
station had video, where were all the other places that had video? What about pinging her
right.
phone, GPS, all the
Mhm.
shit we know they can do? Where is all that information?
Well, they finally spilled today in the press conference that there is a ping that her family didn't know about. However, there's been some conversations too about false pings in that area.
Ugh.
You get up into the mountains there, and the GPS gets pretty wonky, it sounds like. So you may have to take it with a bit of a grain of salt, but at least it's something.
Yeah.
So here are the things that we learned today from the press conference. Patrol staff have been pulled in to assist with the search. 20 hours of
Finally.
searching. 20 hours of searching the main roadways of Pine Flat Avocado area. And we believe that that's where Adventures with Purpose. I did speak briefly uh, with Jolissa's sister Irene. She said that they do believe that Adventures with Purpose is going to centralize in the Avocado Lake and Pine Flat Lake area. So that's where they're
Okay.
headed.
Okay.
So, and that lines up with what the police are looking at too.
Okay.
They have had 15 hours of search time via helicopter,
Okay.
1,740 ground miles covered by 16 off-road vehicles for a
Good.
total of 288 hours in the Pine Flat Avocado area. The Fresno Sheriff's Office Search and Rescue Boating Unit has used side scan sonar detecting and spent 43 hours searching waterways. Here's the thing that her family did not know. Jolissa's phone pinged through the city of Sanger before getting to the Avocado Lake Pine Flat area. They are searching that area because of that ping. So
Okay.
that's really important to know. But here's
Yes.
the thing, other than that, she has very little digital footprint. And the officer or the police chief today said that's pretty unusual with young people. Usually their
Right.
digital footprint is just everywhere. Hers is
Right.
not. And so that's this it's just not here nor there. It's just making this harder.
Right.
Uh
but not impossible. I
They
mean,
are
that's
getting
important
some
information.
leads. Yeah, he talked briefly about a lead that they got out of New Mexico that they're looking into. Because, as again, her car is still missing. It's not just a person, it's a car. And sometimes it's the car that'll help us get to the person,
Right,
you
finding the car
know,
is key.
it's key. It's huge. It's usually the answer, or at least a piece of it.
Yeah,
The FBI is getting involved to analyze the digital data, hoping to get a more precise location of the ping so that the
good,
search
good,
team
because
can.
they have better tech. We know it.
Mhm. Yes.
We saw it in the Vallow Daybell
Oh
case
man.
here.
Without the Vallow Daybell case, without the tech in that case, the kids would have never been found.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's really important. They did say that there's nothing to indicate this is a criminal matter at this time, but they are treating it as a criminal matter. That's something that's
Uh,
very
good.
frequently said. But yeah.
Yes, but at least they're not saying, well, maybe she just got tired of everything and ran away from her life, as we've heard so many bullshit times.
Adults
You
have the
know,
right to disappear. They don't have to tell you where they're going. Oh my
which
gosh.
is true, but it also does not mean that every time an adult disappears, that's why. That
hmm
is the less likely option here. Do they know if the guy driving that orange vest, the guy wearing the orange vest, not driving it, do they know if he turned out and followed her the same way?
Not that I know of. No.
Because I'm sure they have video of that.
Or who that guy
If they have
was,
video of
or
her, they have video of him. It just makes you
surely they
wonder
do.
because that
I
was kind of
know.
weird.
There's also a black car in the parking lot that I was curious about as well. It
Hopefully,
also
they
makes you
checked that,
wonder from the time she went in there and then got back in her car, was someone in her car?
right?
There's a lot of ways to speculate it, and that's a lot of people are, of course. There is a Facebook group that her sister's a mod of called Find Jolissa Fuentes. There's a lot of really good information in there. That's where people are mobilizing quite a bit. The community has also mobilized to bring in meals. And so they have a big
Oh,
meal train going, and people are signing up and bringing meals into the Fuentes family because they're busy searching for her.
right. That's
I
good. Glad they
Their
have community.
response reminds me a lot of the Gillette, Wyoming response for
Mm,
Irene Gakwa.
yeah.
Uh, and the people they're pulling together. I'm really,
Hmm.
really heartened by that. And I hope that the Fuentes family is too, especially since they've gotten a pretty lackluster response from law enforcement. But they can't really get away with that now because
Yeah.
Adventures with Purpose is coming, and everybody knows that and knows
Yeah.
them. And
All gonna get
this,
filmed. We
yeah,
know how this goes.
you can't, they won't be able to, sit on their hands anymore. So I think that's good. That's gonna help. I mean, the reason we opened an investigation on this case is to help get the word out, get her face out, get more buzz going. There is
Absolutely.
a little bit more national coverage going now, which is what needs to happen, obviously.
Hmm.
So that's pretty much what I've got. There's not, like I said, there's not a ton to go on. This is what we have. So we're going to keep an eye on this. I'm going to
For sure.
encourage you guys to. I'll put a link in the show description to their Facebook group, but that's a great place to join if you want to keep an eye on this case.
For
They have
sure. And if
lots
you
of,
live in that area, stay up on it.
every time we do a missing persons case, we get messages from you guys saying, I live here. I had no idea.
Yep.
This happens all the time. So if
It
you
does.
live in that area, please, please, please go find their Facebook page, get their flyers, share them far and wide, physically, digitally, do your part. You would want someone to do that for you if this was your family member.
Right.
And we're just going to hold space that some kind of miracle occurs here and they find Jolissa safe
Yeah.
and sound for her family. So we'll hold space for that. We'll be back to report on this as more things roll out. And again,
For sure.
I do have a little contact with her family. So hopefully, as things progress, we may be able to continue to update that. And we will if we can,
For sure.
particularly if there's any leads from outside of the area that start to materialize. It's going to be really important to have bigger presence, of around the country so that people are really watching.
Yeah.
But of course, be watching for that car too. I'm going to show you a different infographic to give you a really good look at her car.
Okay.
So again, it's a gray silver 2011 Hyundai Accent. It has tinted rear windows. The license plate is California APM. Just I'm going to try that again. 8. That was all wrong.
Yeah, it was.
I said
That is
8
an 8.
MPU 766. And of course, if you can think of anything that you saw, heard, experienced, call the Selma Police Department right away.
Mhm.
And as always, always trust the family.
Yep. We're there all every bit, you know?
This family knew right away something was wrong. They
Yeah,
knew right away.
of
Per
course.
normal.
She lives with her grandma. She has regular contact with her family.
Mm-hmm.
People don't that have regular contact with their families like this, they don't just go zero contact with no
No,
notice. Okay? That is not a thing.
not at all. Also, she has no history of running away or taking off or anything like that. This has never ever happened. So, for every reason, trust the family. We'll keep our ear to the ground. So, with that, Kristi, I'm going to go ahead and kick the mic back over to you for some weird crime time.
Yes. When I read this, and maybe you all know this because this is old information, but this was just shocking and so weird to me. You remember Mary Kay Letourneau, right?
Oh,
Mary
yeah.
Kay Letourneau in 1982. No, not 1982. Hang on. Um, sorry, brain damage. Okay, you know who Mary Kay Letourneau is?
Yes.
She in 1996.
Still, yes. Yes.
Gosh, she was arrested for well, it was in 1997. She was arrested for sexually abusing a 12-year-old student. She was a
Hmm.
teacher, and
Was
she
she
was his
12 years old?
sixth grade teacher. Yeah.
Wow.
First of all, just reviewing that and recalling his age at the time. Whoa. So she was arrested. She was sentenced to 6 months in prison. Um, she immediately broke the conditions of her release, which was
Mhm.
that she couldn't see this boy.
Mhm.
So then she ended up serving 7 years and was
Mhm.
put on the sex offender registry for life.
Right. Lost her children, gave up everything.
Her husband, because her
Everything.
husband
Yeah.
turned her in. Yeah. So she got out in 2004. Um, they lifted the no contact order because the student was by this time an adult. Um, and in May of 2005, let's see. Oh, they married in May of
Yeah.
2005, if you may recall. And they separated in 2017. And then she died of cancer in 58, at the age of 58. 58. Your brain damage has now, I have now
I'm
caught it. This was in
I'm very
2020.
sorry.
Okay,
Yes.
so we remember this story, right?
I didn't know she'd passed actually, but yeah,
Oh, yes,
everything
she
else,
did.
yeah.
So,
And they had a child, didn't they?
yeah, I think at least one.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Did you know that in 1982, her father was it came out, he was a Republican politician. His name was John G. Smits. He was a member of the U.S. House of Representatives after he'd been in the California State Senate. It was revealed that he, who was a political science professor at Santa Ana College, had been caught in an affair with a former student and had fathered 2 children with her.
Oh, for the love. Are you
Now,
serious?
this student was not a minor, but
Good.
he was a college professor,
Yeah, taking
and it's
advantage of his position. Yeah.
yes, I did not know that. I was absolutely dumbfounded when I read that. Like,
Wow.
she saw that happen with her dad and then turned around and did something way worse. So strange. What is with people? What is with these people?
I remember when this happened.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just did not realize, at least through my adult filter, I guess, how young he was.
6th grade, 12
Sixth
years old.
grade. My God.
Yeah. Really, really messed up.
Mm-hmm.
And now and maybe y'all knew that about her dad. I did not know that about her dad.
I bet they didn't. I didn't.
And
Wow.
he was an ultra conservative.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those really hypocritical, we see it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Super conservative people who are actually breaking all the rules they think everybody else is supposed to be following.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
Ooh.
mind
Yep.
blown. Mind blown. That's all I have to say.
That's what happened. That's why you
Yep.
couldn't get your dates straight. This blew your mind.
Well, it totally did. When I read, I was like, what the? Oh, my God, people.
Wow. That is wild. Well, that's what we've got.
Mhm.
So, we're going to be back tomorrow, Wednesday, with a brand new episode. We'll be back Wednesday night for case updates. I promise we'll share some videos of what these cool bracelets can do because
Yes.
that's really all we can think of these days.
Oh,
Besides
yeah.
creating art, we're on another project right now too that's ridiculous. But
Super cool.
yeah. Anyway, needless to say, my house has not been cleaned in some time because
Mm,
I have way funner stuff to work on.
absolutely.
Anyway, and of course, a lot of true crime to work on that is pressing and important that needs attention right away. What do you do?
Right. What do you do?
Maybe those dishes will wash themselves.
Gone to wash ours. I have to say, I'm very appreciative.
Actually, to be fair, I wash ours too. It's the
Oh,
floors. Well, it's fine. It's fine. They'll they'll be fine. The puppies are
so
just going to mess them up immediately anyway, so
true,
it's
true,
fine.
true.
Don't come visit. No one, please. Anyway, so that is what we've got. So again, go and follow the Find Jolissa Fuentes page on
Yes,
Facebook. Keep an eye on that. Share her flyers, please. We will share them on our main Facebook page as well, so that you
yeah,
guys can easily find them there. But let's keep an eye on this and help support that family in every way that we
absolutely.
can. And we'll be back tomorrow. So thanks so much for being here. This has been yet another production of the True Crime Squad. Take care.
Bye, everybody.